Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla. All right. Hello, hello, hello. It's been a long time. This is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. And I am happy to be back, guys. I took a long hiatus off of this thing. But sometimes you need to step back, take a little break, enjoy your family, enjoy your real offline relationships. Although I really enjoy my online relationship that I have with all of you, I do enjoy my offline relationships more with the people whom I love. And so I spent the holidays. I took a break for all the holidays because family time is really big for me. Really big. I love my family and I enjoy spending that time with them. So, you guys got to see a few pictures of me spending time with my family, with CK, and him meeting my family and different things of that nature. So, it was a lot of that going on, a lot of good moments and happiness finally. So I can go into 2023 just shaking off a lot of the bad stuff that happened over the last couple of years, and I'm finally getting my footing again. So, yeah, you're listening to, and you're going to be seeing a much more happier, upbeat Faith. Um, so what's been going on with me? Like I said, CK and I basically merging the families, meeting each other's relatives, just kind of, doing the whole intro thing. Um, we're we're gonna be moving in. We're gonna be shacking up, guys. So we're planning to shack up come June. So both of our leases are up around that time. So he has decided that Phoenix has the better economy for the both of us. So he's gonna be moving out here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, let's see, have I caught you guys up? Yeah, pretty much. Only thing I've been doing is I have been still, on here. For those of you that you might see me in some of the chat rooms, I go to the breakdown. I listen to Sister George and Concrete Rose sometimes. Every now and then I might land in the beef sector because there are some people there that I rock with, like Auntie. I rock with him and his channel. So, I might be over there listening to some of the stuff that he's talking about over there. They have a really good broadcast. So, I'm still around, but I haven't really been like online. Like I said, family time is very important to me. Keith and I, CK and I, we went out for MLK. I took MLK Day off. He and I both did. And we decided to go out and just look at some commemorative, statues and different things that commemorates Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott. So we did that on MLK Day, and plus we went out and we had something to eat. Uh, One thing I will say, I was very proud of the Black content creators that I saw coming online and actually speaking good things about Martin Luther King. I was very proud of that. I listened to Jason Black, even though he gets on my nerve a lot of the times, because if he didn't add a lot of misogyny to his message, I could take him completely and fully serious, because I really believe that he has a gift with analyzing political aspects, and he's spot on with where the Black community needs to be. But when he starts adding the relationship, what he feels should be the dynamics between Black men and Black women, that's where he loses me. and that's where he loses my respect. But I liked what he said about the last 2 years of Dr. Martin Luther King's life. I liked that he highlighted that Dr. Martin Luther King wasn't just about uniting people through the civil rights movement, but he was also, for the last 2 years of his life, he was about trying to get us reparations, trying to go and take a step further to secure our financial security and background. So, AP from the Bronx says, I do not like that MLK statue that looks like a penis, though. You know what? I saw that. I think who was it? ABL did something on that. So I looked it up online and I didn't know what it was. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked like a pornographic image, like AP from the Bronx said. Hey BMT, BMT's in the house. It looked like, okay, oh goodness, I don't even know if I should tell y'all what it looked like to me, because it'll kind of, tell you how perverted my mind is. But what it looked like to me, it looked like I thought I saw a head tucked in between the hands, and like the hands were circled around something that looked like a crotch. And then you just, oh my God, you use your imagination about what I'm saying it looked like, but it looked like a sexual act, not like a penis, like AP from the Bronx was saying. It did look very pornographic when I first saw it. And so they did show the picture of what it was supposed to be, and it looked absolutely nothing like the picture at all. I just want to throw that out there. So um and like I said, there was an article stating the same thing, that it looked kind of pornographic. So I know that I'm not the only person that has a dirty mind up in here. So yeah, I wish I had a picture of that statue so I could show it to you. But if you guys are interested to know what I'm talking about, and what if AP from the Bronx and I are talking about, is that statue, that new monument that was put up commemorating Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott's embrace after one of his speeches. After he won, I believe, a Nobel Peace Prize. Coretta and Martin had embraced, and there's a picture of it, but the statue removed their heads, and it's bronze. And so all you see is his hand going around something that looks kind of round and bronze too. And it looked very pornographic, guys. I'm sorry. AP says it looks like a man wrestling a huge penis monster. Yeah, like to some people it looked like that, and to me it looked like a different sexual act. So I guess it depends on where your mind goes, but it to me, the piece was not, it was done in poor taste. It was really done in poor taste, and I don't know what the artist was thinking. He really should have, put the heads on that thing, and then it would have been more clarified to everybody. But yeah, it looked pretty pornographic. But at any rate, guys, I wanted to have a talk with you guys. Oh, hey, Demetrius, I haven't seen you in a while. He says, dang, I got to go to class. I hope you're on around 3. Oh, no, I just poked my head in just to, let you guys know I'm back. There will be more content coming. So I just wanted to poke my head in and talk to you guys. But yeah, I wanted to do some relationship talk this morning, because that's where my spirit has been. I've been watching a lot of television too, since I've been off of here. And my thing that I go to a lot is I go to the reality shows. Like I've been watching a lot of Married to Medicine. I've been kind of binge watching that. And I looked at the relationship dynamics of the couples on that show. Now, if you guys have not heard of the show Married to Medicine, Basically, it's a bunch of women who are either married to doctors or they're in some kind of part of the medical field themselves. So you had a dentist on there, you had um, what do you call emergency medicine, gynecologists, you had plastic surgeons on there. So these people were married. And what I really, really liked about the show is that there were plenty of Black doctors on this show. And that's what really made it caught my eye. It caught my eye because I saw so much Black excellence here. But what kind of disappointed me was all of the arguing, the fighting, the bickering that occurred on the show. So for me, that's what put a downer on it. I know they have to have a certain level of drama. I get it. But the way that the women were with each other, the men were okay. The men seemed to be able to kind of, settle their differences without it becoming physical. But for me, the women became more physical. They were always aggressively arguing with each other over petty stuff. And so it kind of, put a damper on it for me. Oh, hey, what's up? Woman Sphere in the house. Hey. Oh, she said, girl, that thumbnail is your whole face. Good to see you, face. Thank you. No, but I did want to come in and talk about relationships because in many of those circumstances, you had women who were married to Black excellence or they were Black excellence themselves. And what I noticed a lot of times is that a lot of us, we will be in these relationships. It doesn't matter how much money we have, it doesn't matter what our economic status is. We're going to get in these relationships and act a damn fool. So I wanted to first point out some of the things that I saw. There was this couple on there, I believe their name was Toya and Eugene. And Toya and Eugene on the show Married to Medicine, they caught my eye because Toya was spending all of the money. Now, if you follow this show, it's about 8 or 9 seasons. Every year, Toya and Eugene was moving. Every single year. And I'm thinking to myself, now, I understand having to downsize because the first time they moved, they actually upgraded. They wanted to move from their small house in the suburbs. They said that the area was becoming bad, which is understandable. And they wanted to move to a place where the neighborhood was better and it was a better school district for their children. So I understood that move. But when they moved to this new place, Toya wanted to go big, big, big. You ever heard the term keeping up with the Joneses? Well, it seemed to me like that's what she was doing because all of her girlfriends, one in particular, had a really big house with about 7 or 8,000 acres of land. And so she wanted her house to be just as big and fabulous as her friend's house. Nothing wrong with wanting better. So they went and they did it. But what I didn't know at the time was that they were in a lot of debt. So Toya is pushing her husband, knowing that they're in this debt with the IRS, to buy this expensive house. They're paying a mortgage of over $7,000 to $8,000 a month. So I'm sitting up here like, okay, he's a doctor. I don't know what she does. They're on this show. Maybe, just maybe, they're going to make the money and, they can afford it. But come to find out he couldn't afford it. So this man is sitting up here working not 1, not 2, but 3 shifts trying to pay this mortgage. So now Toya decides that she no longer wants this house that they're in, and she decides that she wants to move to something even bigger. So they go and they rent another house, even more expensive than the last one they had. So now they go from paying $7,000 to $8,000 a month rent to $10,000 a month rent, and they're already in the rears. What's up, Q Savage? So now, if you already know that you're in the rears, why would you take on more debt? Now, Toya's a housewife, granted, but she sits up and she always brags about her education. She says that she's smart. She says that she's educated. If you're smart, if you're educated, and if you're a good helpmeet for your husband, why are you constantly encouraging your family to go further into debt by asking him to purchase more things that he can't afford? So I'm watching this show and I'm just looking at how, damn, this woman really don't give a damn about her man. And I'm watching because her husband's a doctor. So when you watch the show, you see him coming home. The man is so tired, he can't make it to the bedroom. He's so tired, he can't even make it upstairs to go get in the bed with his wife. He's sleeping downstairs in the basement. He's bathing downstairs in the basement. They're not having sex. So now Toya wants to throw a massive party in the new house because she wants to show off to her friends that they have made it and they have this big museum mansion that they can't afford. What they call it, faking it till you make it, keeping up with the Joneses. That's exactly what it seemed like to me. So they go and they throw this big adult Halloween party, and she spends over 10 grand on the party. So I'm just looking at more and more and more and more money being filtered out. And her husband, Eugene, this poor man, he's literally killing himself. He's literally killing himself trying to keep up with his wife's lifestyle. Now, I understand, that we're told to be hypergamous. I understand that we're told that we're supposed to, marry these men with the 6 figures and all of that. But if you're going to marry the man and be hypergamous, don't put your family in the poorhouse. So, sure enough, next season, here it comes. They are over $100,000 in the rears with the IRS because they got so many tax liens on them. From his business, poor accounting, overspending on Toya's behalf, mostly on Toya's behalf. And this man, he doesn't have any, he doesn't have any sense of saying no. What about that word no? He didn't understand. Every time his wife said she wanted something, he broke his neck and damn near killed himself to try to get it for her. AP said maybe that's her plan, not to sleep with her husband. You know what? And later down in some of the episodes of the show, she did go on air embarrassing her husband, by the way, talking about how their sex is not hitting on nothing, and that she was upset at the fact that he was small. Yeah, she told everybody the man had a little penis and everything. After this man then tried to give her everything, this is what she did. Q Savage said that man would die early due to stress related issues. I believe so. And see, this is where having a dumb woman as a wife comes in. Because see, I hear the talking point of these men all the time. Oh, a woman's education is not important. Oh, she doesn't have to be very smart. She just needs to be a size 6. She just needs to be attractive, be a trophy wife, basically, be a yes ma'am, and all of that. So Toya, not a size 6, but she's what many black men would be considered a trophy wife because she's attractive. And she has the body type that a lot of black men like. Curvaceous. And I'm here to tell you that that's probably because see Eugene on Married to Medicine, and you guys, you can binge watch it on Hulu. I believe it's on Hulu, all the seasons. But if you see Eugene is overweight. He's not very tall. He's kind of got that nerdy vibe going on about it. He's that educated lame that all of you describe. And I submit to you right now that Toya is basically personification to him of Big Booty Brenda that he could not get when he was in high school. Now, Toya talked about her past. She says she grew up in Detroit, the rough area of Detroit. She grew up in the projects. She said that she was sitting on the front porch when her cousin got shot. That's the type of environment Toya come from. Eugene, on the other hand, he not quite from that environment. Now he was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth or anything like that. But he's not rough around the edges like his wife. And it's apparent when you see the both of them. Toya's rough, Eugene not. Yes, Q Savage. She married that man with the small penis because he had a fat wallet. AP says her plan is to work him to death and enjoy his life insurance after he's gone. You know what? I don't know. There's a lot of men dropping dead at early ages now. So you might not be too far off the mark. But what I am saying to you men especially, stop just looking at the booty. Now, no men are visual. I'm not saying get with a booger bear. I know you all are visual. But what I am saying is it does matter about the woman's education. It does matter about her intelligence level. It does matter whether or not she is able, if she's financially literate. All of that matters. If you marry a dum-dum, you're going to end up in the same situation as this man Eugene is with his wife on that show Married to Medicine. So now fast forward, they ended up having to move out of that brand new house that they moved into again because they couldn't afford it. So instead, they went to go and have a house built from the ground up because they claimed it would be less expensive. So now they can't get a loan from a bank. They can't really lease anymore because they have too many liens on them. They lost $50,000, by the way, on this new house. They had a house that they were going to move in. I'm sorry, before the big mansion house, and they lost $50,000 on that because they could not get his income approved by the bank. So they're losing money after money after money after money, chasing Toya's dream of keeping up with the Joneses. Q says a lot of guys out here are lonely, just being honest. You know what? But when you're a doctor and you have that much money, I think that Eugene got the first piece of Big Booty Brenda booty that he had ever gotten in his life, and he fell in love. I believe Toya was probably his trick. I'm gonna just be honest with you, because she claims that she went to school, she claims she had all this education, but she wasn't doing nothing with it. She was in some kind of sales or marketing or something like that. But she never did nothing with her education. She saw a meal ticket in Eugene, latched onto it, quickly got pregnant, and now she's riding that gravy train out. That's what I see. What's up, hybrid? And see, what's going to end up happening is if she keeps on this trajectory, she's going to send her whole family into bankruptcy. And see, I can't even respect Eugene as being a leader in that household, because he obviously gives her an open checkbook knowing that she has a spending problem. This man working 3 shifts to pay back their $100,000 IRS debt. She refused to get a job. She says she can't work because she has to be at home with the kids. And I think it's bullshit, because every time I watch the show, she not taking care of her kids. She got nannies up in there. She got people watching them kids so she can go run here and there and to and fro, back and forth, being a socialite, shopping, and all other types of expenditures. What type of mothering and what type of being a housewife are you doing when you got maids, when you got nannies, when you got all of this? So, her saying that she got to stay at home because it's a necessity, that's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. She sat up there and watched that man work 3 jobs and she didn't lift a finger to help him. But she helped him getting all that debt though. And see, before anybody come running up in here talking about Faith, you hating that woman, she wasn't the cause. I sat there and watched all 9 seasons, and I can say with all clarity, yes, she was. And Eugene, her husband, had something to do with it too, because he should have been more of a leader. He should have grew some balls, and he should have been able to tell her no. So I saw a lot of that dynamic. Men, if you cannot lead your household, if you can't lead your women, then you don't deserve to be a husband. I'm just going to put it out there. You don't deserve it. If you have a woman that has that much control over you sexual wise, you're not leading. You're leading with your penis, but you're not actually leading. And you're allowing a person that has an addiction to take the lead. Because Toya has an addiction to being a spendthrift. I forget what they call it when you have a affinity for just buying things. You like to hear the sound of the cash register. You feel good when your credit card is sliding through the machine. Yeah, Q, he's going to work himself into a stroke. So that was one example of one couple on that show that I wanted to talk about. Then there's this doctor and her husband. This woman is a gynecologist. They call her Dr. Simone on the show. And I believe her husband's name is what is it? It's not Curtis. I think Curtis was with Dr. Jackie, but she had a very, very henpecked husband too. Now, the only difference in their dynamic is that she made more money than him. She was the doctor in the house. And you could tell who had the power dynamic in that household. AP says her job, I guess she's referring to uh, the first lady that I was talking about. She's referring to I forget her name, but she says her job is to manage the nanny, the maid, the gardener, and the dog walker. Okay, that's fine. All you have to do is set up an itinerary. Setting up an itinerary doesn't take very long. And then you do walkthrough to see if everything is done to your specification. That don't take very long. Now, what does take a long time is when you have to wake people up yourself, get children up yourself, drive children to school yourself, cook breakfast for the children yourself. Then, all the things that she would have to do herself, she doesn't have to do that. She just creates an itinerary and everybody else does it. Do you know how much I could have got done if I had a nanny and a maid and a gardener and a dog walker and people to bus and ride my children back and forth to school? And now these days you can get your groceries right at your front door. You can get everything at your front door. Do you know if I had access to all of that when I was raising children? Oh, it would have been a breeze. But I had to do a lot of that shit myself. So a lot of my time was taken. There were certain things I couldn't pursue because I had too much time taken away. But this woman, not only does she not have the problem of time being taken away, but she doesn't have a job. So if you don't have a job, then your job does not become spend all my husband's money until we're in debt. And that's what she did. And that's why, I'm coming against this woman in this scenario and her husband by default because he wasn't a leader in that scenario. I know, AP, I know. But I just wanted to clarify, these women running around here talking about I can't work, I got to be a housewife. A true housewife does these things themselves. Now, if you got maids, nannies, all this other stuff, and you ain't got to do it yourself, you're not a true housewife. You got more time on your hands. You could be going to school. Toya could have went back to school and got her master's or whatever degree. She could have started a business. I saw the other housewives on the show. They had nannies and all that stuff too. But with their free time, I saw them starting businesses and bringing more money into the household. A woman like Toya, all she do is take money from the household. That's all she do. And it's not anything wrong with spending your husband's money, but if you're spending to the point where you're spiraling into debt, baby girl, you're more like a parasite. You're not even helping the legacy that y'all building together with your children. I don't see her trying to put no money in no trust for the children. She put more money into Louis Vuitton than she did in putting in investing the money. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. So how much of a helpmeet are you? Are you a helpmate or are you just helping yourself and driving your family more into the poorhouse? But anyway, I'm going to just move on to this next couple. Dr. Simone and her husband. Now, Dr. Simone is the breadwinner in this scenario, and her husband, while he does have a job, he doesn't make as much money as his wife. And so you can tell the power dynamic in that household because what she says goes. Exactly, bro speak. He says she's a failure. And we're talking about the other lady, not this lady. So Dr. Simone is the one raking in all the cash. Now, one thing that I noticed about her husband in their scenario, her husband was always nagging and complaining that she was not spending enough time with him. He said, baby, I understand you a doctor. He said, but you keep taking on more and more. So now in this other woman's case, not only is she a doctor and she already has a busy schedule, but she's adding more and more to her plate. She want to have a business. She want to do seminars. She want to add more and more to her plate where she already don't have enough time for her man and for her sons. They have 2 sons. So she actually had to call in a family member who later on ended up mooching off of them to come in and do things for her sons because she had a lot on her plate. She had no time for her husband, to the point where her and her husband had not had sex in 2 years. So you're married to this 6 foot, I want to say her husband had to be at least 6'4". He's 6'4", tall, slim, handsome, can really hang a suit well. He ain't short stopping in his career. You know, he works in IT. And you are not having sex with your husband. So later on down the line in the show, her husband has this golfing buddy. And she's upset because the golfing buddy is a woman. And she says he spends more time with this golfing buddy than he do with her. This golfing buddy is now a problem. And so he says, well, my golfing buddy is my best friend. I can talk to my golfing buddy about anything. My golfing buddy is always there for me. Now, they ain't calling her what they need to call her. This the sad chick. They never say that this the sad chick. But they call her the golfing buddy. We all know what's going on here. We all grown. We ain't stupid. Golfing buddy. Yeah, okay. But I don't feel sorry for Simone. I really don't. Because when your man come to you and says, I want you, and you turn around, because Simone had a big mouth too, y'all. When y'all watch the show, Simone's mouth can open up wider than a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And she's yelling at this guy. I work. I need sleep. It's me. And you don't do this and you don't do that. You know, she's yelling at this guy. She's not listening to his needs. So y'all know what happens when you don't take care of home. What you won't do, there's always going to be another woman out there waiting in the wings to do what you're not doing. And she's going to provide that man with the peace that he can't get from you. So enter quote unquote golf buddy. And guess what? For Christmas, she said he invited the golf buddy over to the house. For Christmas, the golf buddy stayed in their house. Now, I don't know what type of woman Simone is, but ain't no way the golf buddy would have been staying in my house. And you live in the same city, you can damn near stay at your own house for the holidays. Why the golf buddy got to be at our house spending the night? Exactly. The Bro Speak podcast says, AKA the cleanup woman. And she came to clean up Simone's husband and take him away from her. So now we're at the reunion. And Simone is at the reunion crying. And she's trying to make it out that her husband is this horrible person. I like how some of us, how psychologically we fucked up. Yeah, I'm not saying that he was right to cheat on her. I'm not saying that at all. But y'all do the math. 2 years, no sex. And she even claimed, and she admitted, she said, I don't even like doing blowjobs. So when they do have sex, she don't even give the man BJ. She said he only get the BJ for his birthday. What woman is only giving BJ on the birthday? And then you surprise he got a quote unquote golf buddy. What's up, D? D, I'm over here talking about relationships, and I'm talking about how women lose their man. I'm talking about how they go wrong. Because you don't get, see, the problem is these women were married to these men for years. I'm talking about Dr. Simone and her husband. I think they were together. They celebrate their 10th wedding anniversary together. No. I'm sorry. That was Toya and her guys celebrated 10 years. Jackie and her husband were actually together 15 years. So that you get in these marriages, you get comfortable. And you don't think that you got to keep doing what you did to get them in the first place. So now she stopped having sex with a man. She started getting more into her career and more into her aspirations of having multiple streams of income. And she forgot all about that man. She said, I got him on lock. I ain't got to do nothing else. This relationship can run on fumes. I ain't got to do no blowjob. I ain't even got to have sex with him no more. I don't have to share a bed with him. And then her friends were trying to tell her to start wearing sexy lingerie. Did she go into bed with long johns on, hand rollers every night? Now, I ain't gonna lie, every now and then I have a long john hair and roller type thing, But you ain't supposed to subject your man to that every night. This is what this woman was doing. And so we at the reunion, and she's crying, trying to make this man out to be this horrible person. Oh, he did this to me. He bought the golf buddy, quote unquote, golf buddy to the house for Christmas and had her in our house. He over here, he spent his birthday with his quote unquote golf buddy. She trying to make this man seem like he this terrible person. But you know what? I bet you the golf buddy gave head. I bet you the golf buddy was putting out. I bet you the golf buddy rub his head, give him little massages, listen to him. I bet you they had laughs and drinks and they hung out. Things that y'all used to do when y'all first met. Now the golf buddy is filling that void. And you got the nerve to go on national TV and try to demonize this man as if he the only one doing wrong. When he came to you, he tried to talk to you. He tried to tell you. And you yelled at him and wouldn't listen. This is what I'm talking about. AP says she don't want to have sex with him, then she don't need a husband. She don't need a husband. If you marry somebody and you're not sexually attracted to them anymore, you don't want to have sex, but this person still has needs. I'm sorry, but marriage is they don't run on fumes. Sometimes you got to do when you don't want to do because you care about that other person and you care about making sure that their needs are met the same way that they should care that your needs are met. And men have needs. Their needs are a little bit different than ours. Like for us, we want to be wined, we want to be dined, we want to be romanced. We want him to spend money on us and tell us we're beautiful. We have different needs. And yes, sex is part of it, but it's not really a big deal for us most of the time. If we are in a marriage, the longer women are in a marriage, we don't care about that dangling, as long as we get into other stuff. But men absolutely care. They absolutely want sex. So if you want him to be attentive to your needs, you can't forget about his. So that's where we go wrong, ladies. I've heard some women online say, hey, I've been married to my husband, blah, 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 many years. So I can walk around here looking raggedy. I've heard women say that. No, you can't. You cannot just let yourself go. Men are not hardwired the same way that we are. Like we could not care if they let themselves go. Men can get fat on us. They can get disgustingly ugly on us as long as they still kind and they giving us these compliments and they giving us money and lavishing us with gifts and paying the bills. We don't care. But men, on the other hand, they care about that stuff because we always say it. The key is listen to what it is that we always say. Men, number one, are more visual. So why would you, as a wife, let yourself go? Men are very sexual. Most men love language is touch. I don't care who they are. If you ask a man, what's your love language? I bet you one of the main ones is going to be physical touch. And I'm not saying, that you use sex as a weapon, but because I know that most men's love language is physical touch, if you want to get a point across to your husband or your boyfriend and he's not listening to you, all you have to do is not touch him at all or let him touch you at all. See, men, they may not understand when we talk, but they do understand no contact. And once the contact stops, all of a sudden they want to listen. All of a sudden they're going to run to you and ask you what's wrong. Then that's when they're all ears because you cut off all contact. If you want to get your man to listen, it's real easy. Now, if you have cut off all contact with your man and he's still not trying to listen to you, you got another problem. So that segues me into my point about Dr. Simone and her husband. Dr. Simone had been cut off contact with her husband. And at first, her husband was coming to her and he was trying to communicate. Like I said, when that contact is cut off, they want to talk. But she wasn't trying to hear him. So when your husband stopped trying to communicate with you about the physical contact and the lack thereof, if all of a sudden he seemed to be cool with it and he on board with you working extra hours and not being there for him, sister, honey, girl, you in trouble. Your man done found a golf buddy. Your man done went and found himself a side chick. That's what he done did. And so now you all will be in a loveless, sexless marriage where now you're not going to get wined. You're not going to get dined on his birthday. He's going to be spending it with his golf buddy. When the holidays come, he going to be trying to find a way to work in his golf buddy because he's going to give her all those things that he used to give you. Shocking, huh? So, like I said, I watched that show and I saw a lot of the things that the women were doing. And like I said, it doesn't matter how much money, it doesn't matter how much education you have. You can't fix stupid. And a lot of these women, their husbands were cheating on them for that very reason. Now, some of them had husbands that were just horn dogs. And we'll talk about that. If your husband was a horn dog when you met him, he's going to be a horn dog even after you marry him. And ain't no fixing that. But if you know you had a good man, and if you know your man was solidly there for you in that marriage and in that relationship, and something changed, you have to look at everything, including your part in it. I hate when women try to just demonize the man and make it seem like it was only him. And they don't say what it is that they did on their behalf to cause the situation to go that far. Like I said, I don't condone cheating, but there's a cause and an effect to everything, and you can't be blind to the cause. Now, in watching this show, there was another couple on there where the man and the woman were both in the medical field. They were both doctors. And it seemed to me as if the man was just a horn dog. Now, in this particular situation, the couple had young children. They had a nanny that quit on them. So the wife took the sacrifice and she said, okay, I'm going to stay at home with my children. And while she stayed at home, when the kids were in school, she decided that she was going to do medicine part-time while the children were in school. And then when that started to get old, she said, you know what? I want to go back to school and I want to get my advanced degree so that I can delve into another field of medicine. And the husband utilized that time that she took because she went to school out of state. He utilized that time that she took to go to school out of state to go and get himself a what he called a mentor. He called her a mentor. But once again, we all grown. We not stupid. He said that she's a mentor that he doesn't have to pay. But she's a mentor. And that's her profession. But he's so special. He don't have to pay his mentor. Dita Rail said minty. Yeah. So we supposed to be stupid. We supposed to not know that you out here laying the pipe over there with the mentor. And that's your payment. You paying your mentor with penis. And you're giving her time and you're giving her attention and you're whispering sweet nothings. And so the wife got wind of this mentee or mentor or whatever you want to call it. And all hell breaks loose. Dita Rail says that's how they do it in the chill church sector, Larry Reed. You know, these people and their so-called names for all these sad people: golf buddy, mentor, co-worker. Oh, this just my co-worker. But y'all out here spending all your time with the mentor, the golf buddy, and the co-worker. Birthdays with the golf buddy. You got the co-worker spending the night, spending the holidays at the house with the family. Right. Dita Rail said work wife or work husband. Yeah, we got all these little pet names for these side people. But we know what it is. So in this scenario, the wife legitimately had a gripe because this woman was beautiful. She kind of put me in the mind of Sierra, the singer and dancer. That's what this woman looked like. She had a beautiful little shape. Pretty, pretty little filly. And she was not neglecting her husband's needs at all. This woman would come home every weekend from school to spend time with her husband and her family. So this man wasn't lacking in his relationship like that. But he wanted control. So his wife went to school and he did not want her to. So we're going to teach you a lesson and I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get me a mentor. And that's who I talk to and spend my time with. Now, mind you, they have been having issues in the marriage because he want to control her. And she been asking him, baby, let's do couples counseling. Let's do counseling. He said emphatically, no, I don't do counseling. So she had to go do counseling by herself. So imagine the mind fuck when you're on the phone with your counselor, because she was doing the video conference counseling, and she gets off and her husband says something because he's mad at something that he heard the counselor say about him being controlling. So he's going to kick her in the gut by saying, oh, I got a mentor, I have a counselor too. And she goes, oh, is that right? If you got a mentor and a counselor, then why did you have a problem with doing couples counseling with me? And so Dum Dum says, oh, well, you know, she's a counselor, she's a mentor, but I don't have to pay her. And he thought that that was a sufficient explanation for him not wanting to do counseling with his wife. So now what you mean to tell me is you didn't want to counsel with me, but you want to counsel by yourself. And not only do you want to counsel by yourself, but you want to counsel with somebody that you claim you ain't got to pay. So I need to know why you so special that this so-called mentor is counseling you pro bono. Is it because you are pro bonoing her? Are you boning the counselor? So now he's at the reunion. Like I said, you guys got to watch Married to Medicine. Now he at the reunion acting all surprised when she says she files for separation. What? What you mean? Oh, hold on a second. I thought we was working it out. Because see, now when he caught wind that she gonna leave him, now all of a sudden, all the couple stuff that she had been asking him to do, now he want to do it. Now you see him taking the family on family trips and family vacations. He whining and dining. He acting right. He letting her go to school without nagging her. She got her advanced degree. But Sister Honey Girl also went and filed that separation. And I stood up and clapped. Yes, honey, yes. Because he was no good. He was no good. And then how she really found out that the counselor was really his girlfriend. The babies, let me tell y'all, the babies, I think they got 4 kids. And the little baby got on the FaceTime with her while she was at school and said, Mommy, Daddy got a girlfriend. What? What? So the baby is telling you that Daddy got a girlfriend. What the baby doing around Daddy and the counselor? So Daddy taking the kids to counseling with him? I didn't know they did that. So the kids can come into the counseling session. Deidre, let me know if you allow kids in the counseling session with you. Because I didn't know they did that. Bro Speak said dumb nigga shit. Exactly. So in this case, if a man loses his wife, he deserves it. And that's another talking point that I want to touch upon, because a lot of you guys sit up here and you act like you're not doing things to make these women file for divorce. You're cheating on these women. You're mentally and emotionally abusing these women. You're bringing the women around the children. And you are embarrassing us. That's embarrassing. So the baby's saying, Daddy got a girlfriend. So that means that you're not even being covert with your extracurricular activities. And so now they on this couple trip and they got to talk about their marital problems. And it comes about that you done told me that you got this special mentor that mentors you for free. And now our child is telling me that daddy got a girlfriend. Ooh, file for separation, time for divorce. And so now he on the show acting surprised. Oh, you breaking up the family. Why you want to break up the family? Why you want to go and do some dumb stuff like that? Let me talk to y'all a minute about breaking up the family. I hate when a lot of you men have this double standard about what constitutes breaking up a family. When you break up a family, you're breaking up the family over dumb shit like infidelity. That's you breaking up the family, not her. She has a right to know who you bringing around your children that are not her. And see, you're having these extracurricular activities outside the marriage, and it appears that you're including the children in those extracurricular activities. So now you can't be trusted with the legacy that we're building. And furthermore, you're having outside children. So now we're trying to build up a legacy for our children. We're trying to give them money. And here you are making outside children that we, WE, that's taking money out of our household. But you don't think you breaking up the family. She wrong and she want to get the hell away from your ass because you doing stupid. Then I got to worry about STDs. Sure, I'm your wife, but now I surely am not going to sleep with you knowing that you're out here having extracurricular activities with other women. Why should I lay down with a man that is sticking his penis everywhere and then turning around and getting angry with me because I don't want it inside me anymore? See, when you guys sit up here and talk about women breaking up the family, once again, it goes back to that cause and effect. And you always definitely have to look at the cause, and the cause is you. your extracurricular activities. You out here spending money that should be in our household on other women and children that probably ain't yours, or children that you're getting outside the home. And you think that your wife should be okay with that because you paying all the bills. Guess what? Even after I divorce you, you still gonna pay these bills. And I get to move on with a peace of mind, and you are not going to embarrass me anymore. Look at what happened with Derrick Jackson and his wife. Derrick Jackson embarrassed the hell out of that young lady. Exactly. Bro Speaks said they got the cheating peace mentality. But there's no peace in cheating when you're in a marriage and you have children. There's no peace in cheating. Now, some of y'all say, well, no, he ain't supposed to, let his stuff get out there like that. He ain't supposed to embarrass his wife. I don't know no side chick, even the ones that claim they want to be ambiguous. Many times they enjoy hurting the wife. They enjoy it. So the wife is always going to find out one way or the other. Somebody gonna spill the beans on you. And no matter how she find out, whether it be through you, the other woman, people in the community finding out, it's an embarrassment to her. And it's hurtful for the entire family. So just don't do it. That's a simple solution. When you get married, your wife is supposed to be your all in all. And you are supposed to be her all in all. She's your comfort. She's your peace. She's your source of relaxation. And vice versa. So if you have to find that on the outside, that's a you problem. Most people who cheat, they have psychological issues. And that's not part of nation building at all. But at any rate, I just wanted to go ahead. I've been on here for an hour talking about relationships, giving my take on the show Married to Medicine. Like I said, you guys can check it out on Hulu. You can check out all 9 seasons. Binge watch is very, very binge worthy. But like I said, I took time out, to do stuff like that, in my little time off YouTube. I've been binge watching shows. CK and I have been conquering Mount Mormon and spending time with our families. And I just wanted to come on here and kind of catch you guys up with what's been going on with me, do a little bit of a relationship talk. Like I said, there's going to be more content coming in the near future. But for now, I just wanted to say, peace. And I'm out. Holla.